We are back. It's episode 34 of the Wrap Up Podcast. And guess what, people? We live. No remote this week.
Oh, man.
We live, baby. Yeah.
In full effect.
How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm excited, dog. I ain't even gonna stunt. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm actually excited to be back in action. You know what I'm saying? It feels good. We got another good episode coming up, but it feels good to not have to, be doing this remote. Good to be back in the lab for real. So yeah, man, I'm feeling good.
Good to be back.
No doubt.
This what? 34?
34.
Okay.
Episode 34. So we just got done watching this LSU Alabama game. Crazy. I'm still looking at the score now, 46-41. I can't tell you when the last time I seen somebody steamroll Alabama.
Steamroll.
LSU, I didn't even watch the whole game. Just the part of it. But LSU absolutely, they never had any issues, no trouble at all moving the ball. I mean, they literally went up and down the field on them man. with no problem.
You're right.
Joe Burrow was just a hair under 400 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Only 8 incompletions. Crazy.
He ran for 64 yards.
So he totaled what? About 420 by himself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's that? 450.
Okay, so he was responsible for 450.
Yeah, he's responsible for 450.
That's crazy.
And then Clyde Edwards had 100 and 3 touchdowns.
So that's Heisman right there. That's Heisman worthy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
and
Heisman.
The way that he iced the game with that nice run. This is definitely Heisman worthy. But Tua did his thing. He threw for 400. He did have 1 pick.
Came on late. What did he finish out with?
418, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
And what was his
he didn't throw that. He was a hair over 50%, 21 for 40.
And what Najee Harris do?
Najee went off. He had 146 and a touchdown.
How many attempts?
20. So he averaged 7 yards on the ground.
That's one thing.
7 yards per carry.
And I know Tua's a dope QB, man. But that's one thing I wish Saban would kind of go back to back in the days when he had Ingram and Davenport and all them. How he kind of just the running backs itself was getting almost close to 40. Yeah, it was an even split. But with Tua, I understand you want to throw the ball, but
because he got the talent, he's got a very talented arm.
But when you play a team like LSU,
and with him being a little injured,
that's true. That's true.
I would have ran the ball. I would have ran the ball a little bit more. Devontae Smith had 213.
213. Crazy.
That long bomb helped right there at the end. Najee Harris had 44 yards and a touchdown receiving too. He killed it. So just because we was looking at that, that's the only reason I really brought it up. But this will definitely change this will change the picture of the playoff.
What is LSU right now? They were coming into today? They were number 3?
2.
Number 2.
Yeah, Alabama was 3.
They'll go number 1. Alabama will stay 3.
No, Alabama falls.
They were not gonna put them under Penn State law. So Penn State was 4. They're dropping out then.
Yeah, Penn State 4 and they drop out.
So probably Ohio State stays number 1.
Yeah.
LSU number 2.
Okay.
So who do they put in at number 3? Is that Oregon? Who was number 5? I don't even know who was number 5.
It depends on if Georgia wins. Who was 5? Georgia is playing Missouri right now.
Does they give room for Wisconsin maybe to sneak back in there?
I think Alabama probably drops to 4.
Mm-hmm.
They drop to 4 or 5. Penn State drops out. Obviously. Yeah, Oregon. I put Oregon up there.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Give me Oregon moving up.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
Into the 4th spot. Yeah, that's the way I would shake that one out. Or I don't know. What about Georgia? Do you move Georgia up? I know they've lost one.
But that was a bad South Carolina loss, though. At least
it is.
Alabama's loss wasn't a bad loss.
So you keep Georgia at 6, even once they win. You expect them to beat Missouri.
Yeah.
So you keep Georgia at 6 if they win today. At 8-1.
It depends. The 4 majors stand pat. The only thing that may be different is whoever jumps in from Penn State spot. So once again, like you stated, I can see Oregon there. Mm-hmm. Will they give? This means us talking. They're not gonna get Minnesota no love. But Minnesota's 9-0, and they beat
Oklahoma?
Penn State. Oklahoma got 1 or 2 losses.
1. Oklahoma has 1 loss. So Oklahoma, they should.
And it wasn't an ugly loss.
Iowa State.
They lost to who did they lose to? It wasn't LSU. I don't know. I can't remember.
So I say Ohio State 1, LSU 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they put LSU 1 though. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep Ohio State.
Yeah.
So Ohio State, LSU, Oregon, Clemson.
It's possible. Yeah, Clemson's. They'll take 3.
So you say Clemson 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Clemson 3, Oregon 4.
Yeah.
Alabama 5, Georgia State's packed at 6.
Yep.
I can see that.
Forgot about Clemson.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Granted, they have to beat NC State. Clemson is playing NC State tonight, which they should win.
Yeah, they should.
But, Penn State should have beat Minnesota, and we saw what happened.
Well, that wasn't a should have.
You don't think so?
Well, Minnesota ranked 17. They were both undefeated. So
true. I didn't expect them to get, come in there and roll over them. But,
they got busy.
Yeah, they did their thing. Speaking of getting busy or not getting busy, Dave East dropped.
Not getting busy is hilarious.
Dave East dropped.
Man.
His debut album.
Still feel like that man got like 5 albums, man. And every one they say is a debut.
Yeah. Survival, the debut album from Dave East. I've spun it twice just to give it its due diligence.
Okay.
To make sure that I haven't missed anything.
And that's fair of you.
I will preface all of this by saying I am a Dave East fan. And I'm biased.
Okay.
I have a smidge of Dave East bias. I like East. This album did not do it for me. I think the reason why is because I had high expectations for the album.
But I'll let you finish.
I had high expectations for the album because, in my opinion, he has yet to release a bad mixtape.
Okay, but we know mixtape and albums are different, but carry on.
His mixtapes play like albums.
Okay.
To me.
All right.
So I was excited about the features.
Okay.
I saw some names on the album who I was like, okay, yeah, I want to see what they put together with this. And I was a little disappointed. It's not a bad album.
It's not.
But when your expectations is here and then you still don't meet those expectations, we fall somewhere in the middle. It's hard for me to try to grind it out.
And let me play devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
What has Dave East done? I know you consider him. You consider yourself a fan.
Yeah.
But what really has Dave East done musically to give this debut a high standard?
Here's. I like the way that he.
Because I can't tell you one single of his prior to this album or one lyric.
Really? That's
for real.
That's tough. I could rattle off some Dave East tracks. That part ain't difficult for me.
When I hear the name Dave East, I think of those Smack DVDs or in a tunnel freestyling and doing. I don't think of Dave East as the Dave East album dropping blah 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 blah. I think of him and Him and Conceited somewhere in a dark closet.
Not Conceited.
Going back and forth, man. Hitman holler or something. going back and forth, man.
Cue the Jamaican horns. He going in.
For real, man. I don't see. Early on, I can see why people wanted to deem him the next Nas, and Nas second that. But my man is far off from it, and I don't think he will ever approach that status.
I never quite understood. I know Nas kind of took him under the wing. I never held him in the same regard as Nas because they're two totally different guys. Lupe is way more Nas than Dave East.
Absolutely.
And Nas actually said that on Drink Champs, which I thought was crazy.
Sure
and
did.
I've been thinking it for years. And then he said for him to say it on Drink Champs just kind of, brought that full circle.
Yeah.
Who I actually likened him to a lot more, crazy as it may sound, is Nipsey. Here's why.
Well, that's who he was trying to channel on this album, if you ask me.
He had a few things. The Nipsey tribute was dope.
Too much stuff going on.
That's one of the better songs. But here's the thing: he's always been from the bottom, grinding, kind of gutter, and then moved and made his way up. But then it's like he grinded the mixtape circuit very, very hard. And then, he's been out for a while. You can see he's more of a veteran in the game. But now, all of a sudden, you're telling me, all right, we're about to get a debut album.
Yeah.
So it had a lot of Nipsey vibes. And they was close. He's much more Nipsey Hussle than he is Nas. I never...
Nipsey was dope, though.
Dave is dope. Dave East is dope.
No, Dave to me is a rapper's rapper.
Okay.
I'm not checking Dave for an album. I may check Dave for featuring. Or what he did with Styles. That's what I'm checking Dave for. But right now, even with his mixtapes, he should just do that instead of trying to develop a concept. Like, it took Nas a while to develop his voice, meaning cohesion.
Yeah.
But this dude sounds like he's all over the place, especially if we go back to the album. On the album, it kind of sounds all over the place.
I agree with that.
And I stopped at track 13. Once I heard E40 out of nowhere, I text you. I was like, "Yo, man, this is a travesty."
Yeah, I can't front. I definitely skipped the.
And I'm a 40 fan. Don't get me wrong, people. I'm a 40 fan, but it was the vibe. I didn't know if he wanted to be East Coast. I didn't know if he wanted to be West Coast, because like I said, I can hear the Nips influence even in his cadence and his voice.
Yeah,
it was Nip all the way, and that's what kind of kept throwing me off. And I text you, was like, "Yo, does he always change this?" Because you're the connoisseur.
Yeah,
I'm like, does he always change his flow like this?
Nah, he don't. And
that was a new one for you too.
Yeah, and he had his moments where, I mean, to me, the album started off pretty solid.
Yeah.
The first 4, 5, 6. I say the first 6 joints, I was with it.
I agree.
They Want to Kill You, Penthouse, Godfather, Need a Sign with Tiana Taylor. On My Way to School was super dope. 17.
Yeah, that one was dope. The one with Tiana Taylor, she could have just did that by herself.
I thought it was cool.
That was like a Dave East feature.
Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that. I can see her body in this track. Yeah. But 3 through 6, definitely the highlight.
When is Godfather 4?
Godfather 4 is 3.
That was dope. What was after 17? My Mama Made It.
Mama, I Made It.
That's when it started going downhill.
Yeah, Mama, I Made It was, I wasn't a fan. OG with Rick Ross and The Dream was okay.
And Rick Ross doing the Jay-Z, because I could swear his last few albums, I thought about this the other day, then when I heard the track, he sound like Wale.
Yeah. His album is still. Did you replay it? We said we was gonna replay it. Did you?
Yeah, same sentiments. Ain't nothing changed.
Well, damn. All right, we tried. Wale, I tried to hop him on the bandwagon. He didn't buy the ticket. But then the joint with Fab, the production on that was
trash.
I saw Fab. I'm like, okay, they finna get busy. This finna be dope. And
it felt like 1995 again on that album, man.
What is this?
It was bad.
You know how Spice Adams with the samples, and he be like, what? What is this?
That's what it sounds like. Man.
That's exactly how I felt. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
I heard the beat came out of nowhere, and it was just. I'm like, I'm waiting for AZ or somebody to come.
It was super old school.
It was bad.
Maybe like Miami Nights kind of.
It was bad.
Techno-y, and I'm like, what is this? It just.
Fab sounded out of place. He couldn't say it because that's never been his style.
I'm like, what? What is going on here? What in the haberdashery and hemoglobin is going on here?
All right, Tony.
That was crazy.
That was a favor track. That was a favor. Y'all gonna do a favor.
I didn't like that. That's when it really started going downhill for me. 9 with what's going on, and then the baby joint.
That one was okay. It was okay.
The Jacquees Alone one, I kind of get that because you need a single, but I didn't really.
The album sounded like all of Nas's failures.
I thought I was harsh. Damn.
Remember back when Nas was... I love I Am, but if we look at I Am and Nostradamus, wouldn't this album fit right in the middle of those two, like a sandwich?
Okay.
And who's the executive producer?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling that. I not feeling that... I like the critique.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
I like the critique. That makes sense. That part makes sense. Yeah, the middle of this album really fell off. It's 20 tracks. It's an hour and 18 minutes. It's definitely too many. And you don't hear me say that
That's
much.
Right.
That is too many. But this was too many. Yeah, it really felt. The Max B joint, the Lil Baby joint, Night Shift. Night Shift was okay. I take that back. The Night Shift joint was okay. The Max B joint was trash. Daddy Knows was okay. I like the sentiments to his daughter. That was straight. On Site with Ty Dolla $ign. No. The Marathon Continues. He ended it very well. I like the Nipsey tribute joint. That was dope.
That's the only one I got to listen to. I'm not listening to the other ones, but I listen to the Nipsey one.
I don't blame you. You're not missing much. Again, this is tough for me because when you like an artist, you want to like the album, and I didn't like the album. So this one, I'm not unwrapping.
Me neither.
I cannot unwrap this album as much as I want to because I definitely fucks with Dave East.
I didn't even download this.
Huh?
I didn't even download it.
Yeah, I did, and then
take that out your library.
Yeah,
man.
I am. I'm taking it out. You know what's worse is I've been watching the Wu-Tang saga, and it makes me like him even more because he is absolutely killing it being Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, Dave is out here. That's like this. He is Method Man for real, and I can't wait for this album. Survival finna be cold.
That music has already been legendary though. You know what I mean? You can't fall in love. It's already legendary.
No. So I'm talking about just the way that he portrays.
I got you.
Yeah. So I mean, the same way. First of all, the best dude on there is the guy. For every actor who's trying to embody somebody from Wu-Tang is absolutely killing it. But nobody does a better job than my man's who plays ODB.
Okay.
I'm talking
he looked just
about,
like him.
He looked like him. He got the slur of the words when he get the rhyme and the rhyme schemes and the patterns that ODB used to go into.
Yeah.
This dude is straight killing it. My man's who does Raekwon, he's doing his thing. The dude who does RZA is doing his thing. That show has me captivated right now. That's a dope show.
Okay.
So then when I'm like, okay, Dave East is, he's really out here being Method Man. It's cold. With the glove and the crazy hair, and he out here, he got the vibes and the bravado, and I'm like, this nigga is Method Man.
Yeah.
This album is about to be cold.
No, and then you got to turn back into Dave East.
Yeah, and it needless to say, I was disappointed. I was disappointed with this one. It was a rough patch for sure. And when you think about it, it's the last couple of albums, at least for me, the last couple of albums that I've been listening to, I've really liked. I thought Jesus is King was dope. Statue of Limitations with Smoke DZA and Benny the Butcher.
That was dope,
EP,
man.
Crazy.
They got an album coming out at the end of this month.
A full length album?
Benny, West Side, and Conway. Yeah,
Bet.
Full length.
Nobody is having a better year in music than Griselda.
Man.
Nobody.
The last year and a half
is having a better year than Griselda. They have 0 misses.
0. Well, the West Side Gun last project was a miss, but he wasn't really rapping on that one.
He was an
ad lib king.
Yeah. So it was what it was. So okay, I take that back because you're right. I didn't like it. So let me recant.
That's but 1 out of probably 10 is not bad.
That's the miss. Yeah,
and 2 of them probably his.
Yeah,
in that mix. So
yeah, it's I'm not checking for a West Side Gun solo project, but the features, I'm cool.
We can live with that.
Yeah, I can live with that. But Griselda is they like all right. They shooting 90%. They 9 for 10.
And that ain't bad.
They killing it this year. Man.
That ain't bad.
They are absolutely destroying it. So yeah, man, I'm a little upset about the East. I thought I was gonna get something a little better, and I didn't. So needless to say, back to the drawing board. I'm hoping we get something better on the next one.
And his producers was dope, man. A-Rab music. The premiere track was crazy.
Oh yeah, he jumped it off with the DJ premiere joint. But it was fresh.
The majority was A-Rab music, and I wasn't impressed.
No, the train wreck was the joint with Fab.
Yeah,
it was just sporadic as hell. It's like, where did this come from? It just super left field, and I'm like, it don't mesh with the rest of the album. I would have thought that they would have meshed together on a track. It didn't sound good.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sound good. It's like, with the ability to, and it sucks because when I'm looking at this feature, I'm trying to see, okay, how well are these guys about to play off of each other?
Yeah.
How well do they complement each other on the track? Like with Smoke and Benny, them dudes, you would think they've been rhyming together their whole life.
Yeah.
With the way that they play off of each other, it's like, yo, they absolutely bodied this EP. It was a short, quick body of work, something to just go out there, give them a taste.
And that's the first time I actually really digested Smoke like that. I've heard stuff in the past, but I never
usually it's just features for me. Yeah.
But this was pretty solid.
He killed it. He absolutely killed it. They did their thing. They in a good groove right now. Griselda is smashing everything out here.
They banging.
Yeah, man. It's been a good year for them. So, man, hopefully we get something else to help me get over the Davies. I'm pretty sure we will. We should be getting some new music soon from somebody. I didn't know about the Griselda getting ready to drop, so that's some promising news coming up that'll be able to change my mind about the way that this music month started. But still kind of keeping it in line with the music. Another thing that seems to have struck a chord in the music world, so to speak, but definitely in the social media, Black Twitter went on about this one, is T.I. says that he regularly goes to the doctor. Well, I shouldn't say regularly. I think it's annually. I think he goes with his daughter annually to the doctor and checks her hymen. Now, it's a little weird. First off, I mean, because his daughter now is 18 years old. And it's definitely a bit odd to me that it seems kind of invasive. Maybe I'm tripping. I can't tell you what kind of level of daddy-daughter relationship they got. So that part I can't really speak to. But it seems kind of odd that even still, that you've been doing this for years, and that even still now at 18, you're still going to the doctor with your daughter to get her hymen checked.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
It's nasty for one.
It is.
It's cool to say it as a joke with the fellas.
He said it on it was a radio interview,
yeah,
right?
That's nasty.
Why? I just don't understand. I mean, you trying to protect her virginity this much, and you gotta. First of all, you have to let your daughter be her.
That's true.
You give her wisdom, morals. You give her knowledge. You give her. You drop jewels on her and give her as much valuable insight as you can, and then you release her to the world. And maybe that's the wrong phraseology, but ultimately she has to grow up and be a woman on her own. It's only so much you can do. Then speaking as a father who has a daughter,
that's just trying to scare straight, man. There's no purpose for any of that.
It's not. And here's the thing: is I don't think you should be trying to scare your daughter into not having sex. If anything, educate her on the dangers of sex. Educate her on the dangers of unprotected sex, and then you let the life lessons that you've already instilled in her, the morals and the values that you and your wife have taught her from her adolescence, you let that be her guide going forward. Because at the end of the day, she gonna do what she gonna do anyway. You can only hope that what you've taught her, what you've told her, the things that you the things that you've shared, your experiences that you've shared, can help, put her in a direction that won't be negative, and that she won't be out here being a hoe, or that you are afraid that she gonna be some promiscuous woman. So the fact that he is still going to the doctor and checking her hymen is very invasive. I think is very odd. It's a little too clingy, if I can use that word. I don't know. But it ultimately is just overall really, really weird. And he got a lot of backlash for it. And not only did he get backlash because he was checking the fact that she's going to the doctor, but then he specifically said that he's checking her hymen. So then the black Twitter doctors of America definitely came after T.I. because they was like, look, every woman's hymen is different, and you checking a hymen doesn't mean that she's still a virgin. A woman can lose the shape of a hymen from working out. She can lose it from just any regular activities that she's having. It doesn't necessarily have to be sex. So they definitely jumped on him, and it made him it made it look even worse than it already was. It was already bad that the man said, okay, I go to the doctor with my daughter on an annual basis to check her hymen, to make sure that she's still maintaining her virginity. That's a little too much already. But then the fact that you are this, I don't even want to call it overprotective, but this you're more of an overseer at this point. And I just think is really odd. That's it. That I guess that's really the only thing that I can say is odd more than anything. The fact that he is still doing this and she's 18 now is almost flabbergasting.
That's on some old. I'm protecting her. How many you done broke, man? That's
right.
You just gotta let that course, like you mentioned, run through. I don't have kids. You got a daughter, and you said that you hope that what you've instilled in her, even if she's having sex early, you don't want that to happen, even with your sons.
Right.
But you want them to be cautious of what's out there, meaning use protection.
Yeah.
And be respectful if they're boys.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to trust in what you've provided or instilled. He should have let Tiny come out and say that.
He shouldn't have said it at all. Even if it's something that you're gonna do, you just the world did not need to know this.
Nah,
it's some stuff that you should have tried to you should have kept this one, and that's
embarrassing for her.
Yeah, for sure. and we all, well, I'm not gonna say all, but at least me, I will say, I've always thought of T.I. to be a more educated brother in the world of music, amongst a lot of not so educated brothers. And I'm not even just necessarily talking about his vocabulary and the way that he carries himself. I'm talking about, from some of his business moves and some of his interviews, he's always shown to be on the bright side. This one, I don't know. This is gonna be one in the lost column for T.I. Not that he hasn't had one before. He'll bounce back from this. But this was bottom line, this was dumb as hell.
Man, I can't find my other memory card.
Sorry, man. Show must go on. they gon' get the audio. We sound good this week, y'all.
I don't know what that sucker at. Yeah, man, but even if we go into the articulation of, or the revolution or the evolution of T.I., that's a farce too. That's an act.
You think so?
Yeah, because you can have an immense vocabulary without sounding
overly doctoral.
Yeah, and it sounded like I got what I call the try too hard clicks.
Yeah, it sounds forced that time.
It sounds forced, and you laid back, and then you just spring up a Espialidocious on us. A spotted hottie. I done choked myself up.
Oh man, is it all of a sudden you spring that up on us? I feel you. I feel it can be a bit gimmicky at times. Wrong. Yeah, for sure. That's one that we just really didn't need to know. I would have been absolutely fine with never knowing that T.I. goes to the doctor with his daughter and has the doctor check her hymen. I mean, first of all, invasive is the word that just keeps coming back to mind. But ultimately, it's like, dog, why? Why do you have to keep on checking up and trying to figure this out? Again, maybe the extent of their relationship is a lot different than what I'm looking to achieve with my daughter. Me and my daughter are very close, but obviously my daughter is a hell of a lot younger than his is. His daughter is turning 18. My daughter just turned 8. So, that's a huge difference there. But ultimately, it's like that's not a type of situation or an event that I would like to continuously have with my daughter. I'm pretty sure it's odd every single time. If let's say he's been doing this since, I don't know, she was 13, 14 years old. So for the last 4 or 5 years, he's been doing these events, or I shouldn't call it an event. I don't know. These doctor visits, these doctor's appointments with his daughter. It's got to be odd. He probably is. It's probably scheduled in his iPhone. I don't know, man. It's weird.
There's your PP check. Nigga, what did you on, man?
It's weird. It's just weird as hell, man. I don't know why he decided to come
invasion.
Out. Yeah, pretty much. This was odd as hell. I don't understand why he would come out and tell the world this. Some things is left better unsaid. This one you should have kept between you and your family, and then the way that it was expressed on the show. Black female Twitter let him have it. All of these I'm not even just gonna say female Twitter, just Twitter in general. Mm-hmm. All of these doctors and gynecologists and just women in general.
It was just weird, man.
Yeah,
it was just weird.
They let him have it, and rightfully so. Sometimes when you stand up there and you say dumb shit, you gotta take your L. You gotta take your L. This is nothing short of an idiotic statement, and a statement that he shouldn't have said anyway. Even if it's, obviously it's true. Even if it's something that you do, even if your daughter is okay with it, I just would have never told the world that. That would have just been something between me and her.
Absolutely.
That should have just been something that, it's like, all right, babe, this is just me and you. This is just how daddy
daughter time.
Daddy daughter date is you going to the doctor to get your hymen checked.
We'll get some froyo afterward. Some pink berry.
Some red mango.
For
we'll get some red mango.
Get some pineapples. Keep it sweet. That's too much. That was too far. I'm sorry, America. That was too far. But.
Oh man, Steph on the roll. He's on the roll today, folks. Oh man, but yeah, T.I. got to hold the L for this one. That was odd. That was really odd to say the least. So he got fried for that one.
Yeah,
he definitely got fried for that.
He sure did. Along
with the NCAA, they are now taking a very huge backlash with recent suspensions that came down. So the projected number 1 overall pick in the NFL and possibly the projected number 1 overall pick in the NBA have both been suspended. I think James Wiseman, who's the number 1 prospect over in Memphis, they let him play last night.
Yeah, he's playing because
they let him play because
Memphis filed
a grievance or an appeal, right?
Yeah. So it was kind of in holding pattern. The judge allowed him to play. Right. And Chase is down for
Corey Chase is down 4 games.
What they're saying should be close to 4 games.
Yeah, and it's rough, man, because I listened to Jalen and Jacoby talk about this earlier. Or maybe I take that back. It was Jason Williams and Jalen Rose talk about this earlier. That typically these type of fines or these type of suspensions usually are only. I'm not gonna say only. These are usually affecting young black youth.
Absolutely.
Because a majority of your athletes are black and brown. If you look at the NBA, it's majority African American. You look at the NFL, it's majority African American. And these young kids usually come from, a less than background, and they're trying to make a way for themselves.
Yeah.
And college is already expensive, so even if they coming through with a full ride, college is taxing on a young student athlete. And they, with their inability to still profit off of their likeness, and this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and then you suspend them, it just makes it even worse. So the NFL, I'm sorry, not the NFL, the NCAA is really getting a heavy backlash in regards to the way that both of these was conducted. I know Memphis is facing some issues because they said Penny Hardaway has been deemed a booster. Penny is currently the coach of Memphis.
Head coach
of Memphis. And said that he helped James Wiseman and his family relocate to Memphis, I believe. That was the reason for that's the reason for the suspension. So they're trying to suspend Wiseman. They're trying to suspend Penny.
And you know what? I would have been probably more inclined to, in some way, agree with the NCAA if they would have said, we have to suspend Wiseman and Hardaway because he didn't do it for all the students. He only did it for one. I would have been more apt to believe that, as opposed for them saying, and he's not a booster, he's the head coach.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to call him a booster because he's an alumnus, okay, I give you that. Yeah. But say that.
Yeah.
He wears a very important hat within that university.
Very much so. I mean, and he got to this point and to this level of success for a reason. He's good at what he does. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that he shouldn't take any blame, because let's be real, it's a lot of fraudulent activity that goes around when it comes to recruiting in NCAA.
Yeah.
Whether it's basketball or football, they toss around this money because you are going to these poor parts in these inner cities and you getting kids who don't have a way out unless it's sports, So you got kids who coming in and they're trying to make a way, and if you got a coach who says, you know what, I got $50,000 for you and your mom so that we can get you out the hood and you can go to school and then possibly, make it to the pros. They're not saying no. A majority of them not saying no to that. This is a way out for them. Most of their families, you put together, if they have mom and dad in the same household, they're not making $50,000 in 2 years.
Penny did the Butch McRae.
Penny definitely did the Butch McRae. He said, "I'm taking this. I'm taking a page out of the script, not out of the book, out of the script. Blue chips
for real. Y'all want a house with a lawn?"
Straight up. He said, "Look, I'm finna make this happen for you," and he did. So I could understand the suspension a bit more if they tailored or they tweaked the sentiment or the way in which it was approached. I think it was approached poorly, and it doesn't seem like, okay, we're abiding by the rules. It seems like we're targeting James Wiseman. We're targeting what's his name, Corey Chase?
Chase Young.
Chase Young. I don't know where I'm getting Corey Chase from. We're targeting these two guys, and
his suspension was trash. The reason behind that, that's so bogus, man.
His was even worse. Yeah. So, and I'm taking a look at it here. I'm looking at ESPN. It says they do expect him to have a 4-game ban. He was having an absolutely amazing season already. So I'm assuming that they are going to appeal. We'll see what happens. But he was easily looking like the top pick.
Yeah.
If not, he's definitely top 3. With this 4-game suspension, he'll still be back in time for the playoffs. But does this hurt his draft stock?
No, it doesn't hurt his draft stock because what he's suspended for, it wasn't drugs, it wasn't PEDs, it wasn't a criminal offense. He, quote unquote, we don't have to say alleged because he said this is what happened, asked a family friend for money to fly his girls to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So
I think... So it definitely it doesn't hurt his draft stock. I'm with you on that. It definitely it kills his Heisman chances.
I don't think it kills his Heisman because he did so much in the first 8 games of the season so far.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that will hurt it is when you get those curmudgeony sports writers that still believe in quote unquote the purity, where you have some of those old heads that's coming around saying, "Hey, this is what happens. I'm just going off the play on the field."
It's already difficult for a defensive player to win Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses 3 or 4 games, I think it's out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I think it's over with. And it's tough because he's solidified himself as a lock for a Heisman.
Yeah, because that's 4 games and a potential Big Ten championship that he misses.
Yeah. I think if it goes 4 games, he misses the Big Ten championship, right? I'm just trying to think of it.
Depend on if they have a 3 games left in the regular season, then the Big Ten. But if they have just a regular 4 games left in the season, then the Big Ten, he should be good for the championship.
Okay. Yeah. So then,
because some teams play 11, some play 12, some play 13.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, so it's going to be right on the cusp of whether or not he's going to miss this. But ultimately, you can see both of them. James Wiseman, it's definitely going to hurt him even more because he'll be suspended for the entire season.
Yeah.
They talking about Wiseman being gone for the entire season. So that tremendously hurts his draft stock. I still think, even if he is suspended, I still think he goes top 10.
Yeah.
I still think he goes top 10 just because he has that high level of talent.
Well, that's a better gauge for LaMelo, who's been balling.
Yeah, he's killing it right now.
It increases for him. But if I'm Wiseman and I can't play again, just go overseas, play over there.
You go finish up the season, overseas,
then
continue to work out, grab you an agent. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. If he does that, that is the smartest move. If he does that, then his draft stock probably he finds a way to buoy that.
Yeah, because him being number one and the same players that they're going to see all year in the league nowadays in athletics, the way it works. Him not playing, even if he was injured, he still would have probably been the number one pick. Because Porter still went, 3?
Who?
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.?
Yeah.
Nah,
he dropped.
Yeah,
light-skinned Mike dropped.
Yeah, man. He dropped to like 11, 12.
That's still lottery.
Oh no, yeah, he's still lottery. He's still lottery. But if he would have been healthy, he was clearly a top 3, maybe 5.
But then with Michael Porter's draft, you had unexpecteds that year as well. Garland and all them.
Yeah, they jumped up.
No, Garland was last year.
Garland was last year with from Vandy. Who was it? Wendell Carter.
Yep.
Who else came out in that draft? Luka Doncic, Trae Young,
who flew up the board.
Yeah. Luka flew up the board as the year continued on. Trae kind of struggled towards the end of the season with Oklahoma, but he did enough to do what he needed to do. Who's drafted number 1? Who's drafted number 1 overall?
Wasn't it Bagley?
Ayton.
Yep.
Ayton, and then Bagley, and then Trae went 3.
It's Trae, that sound right.
Trae went 3. Yeah. So that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I think you're on the right path. If Wiseman gets suspended and they say, hey, you done here in Memphis, he was gonna be out of here in 1 year anyway. But then you go overseas, you salvage what you can, try to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Go over there, do your thing, and get ready for the draft. Same thing LaMelo Ball is doing.
Yeah.
And he's playing very, very well. His game has grown so much over the last 2 years. And his frame is growing too.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely helping him out.
And it looks like he's becoming to fall in love with the pass, where now he's really becoming a pass first.
Yes.
PG.
Yes.
Because he can bust 50 whenever he wants over there.
Easy. The IQ is there.
Yeah.
The jump shot is there. I hope his jump shot translates to the NBA. His mechanics is a little rough, like his brother, but his release point is better and it's a quicker shot. So I don't think he'll have as much trouble as Lonzo had or is having. But LaMelo right now is definitely looking like a top 5 pick.
I watched the show on Facebook. I feel so bad for Jello, man, because he's not getting in the league.
Nah, yeah, it's over with.
And
he's
trying, man. But
yeah,
the worst thing that could have ever happened to him was that China trip.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The worst thing.
Because he was so unproven before going into UCLA. He needed to go there and show like, hey, I can go here, I can ball.
And the thing about it,
he just made a very bad decision.
He could ball in his own right, but he's not Lonzo or Melo.
No, he's
not.
And
if you're behind those two, it's it used to be a book I remember growing up reading. It was called Kiddo in the Middle. Talking about
in the middle.
Yeah, the trials of the middle kid. They're not the oldest. They're not the youngest. They're the Jan Brady.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Melo. I was the middle kid.
Oh man, that's horrible.
It's rough, man. It's tough over here.
Yeah, so that's Jello, man. So
yeah.
And remember, I was for the longest saying that I like Jello's game. I like this frame and all of that. But with the injuries and the whatever went on in China,
his
game is still stuck in senior year at Chino.
Yeah, I think he's still. it's kind of hard to say because I don't get to see LaMelo as often now since he playing overseas. I'm not checking for a bunch of overseas games.
Yeah.
But prior to, I definitely thought Jello was the best shooter of the three.
Oh, yeah. I say that to this day. Yeah.
He was the best shooter of the three for sure. That might be, man, that was a nice shot. That might be different now. But because LaMelo has been over there lighting up, I've watched one game of him over there overseas. Everything else has just been highlights that I've seen. But just physically, his frame growing. His IQ is definitely getting there. He's looking like he can turn this into something even better than what Lonzo has.
Yeah, I agree.
It's looking like the Ball family might have one more shot.
Yeah, and Lonzo not even playing in the fourth.
Nah, it's rough.
Yeah.
I think he is. They working out some chemistry issues down there in New Orleans. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll end up being fine. Brandon Ingram is looking good down there.
Oh man, he bossing out.
Yeah,
he bossing out.
Yeah, so and he needed to.
Okafor's looking good too.
Yes, man. I'm finally glad that he getting some traction. He getting some solid minutes. That's yeah, man. That's a Chicago kid right there. I'm glad to see they doing good. There's a bunch of Chicago kids in the NBA who out here doing their thing, man. Kendrick Nunn is doing his thing in Miami. Like you said, Jahlil Okafor, Derrick Rose is back in
resurgence.
Yeah, man, looking like I ain't gonna say prime, but he's definitely back to very, very good production.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely digging that. This is gonna be an exciting year of basketball.
Yeah.
It's a lot of unknown things that's going on. A lot of things unforeseen. We gotta wait until a lot of this starts to shake out, but I'm really liking the way the NBA is looking right now. It's not cliche. You can't just say, okay, I know how the chips is gonna fall. I know how these 16 teams is gonna shake out in the playoffs. We don't know. We got a lot of things that we can guess and some strings that we can pull just to try to say, okay, I think this might happen, but. Is prior to the injuries and everything that happened with Golden State before it tipped off, I thought Golden State was still a playoff team.
Yeah, I gave them 7-8.
And now it's like, yo, what's going on? And then I looking at Sacramento, like Sacramento should be taking the next step to be a fringe playoff team, and they struggling.
Yeah.
They are definitely struggling.
I didn't expect the Lakers to be as good as they were.
Yeah.
I thought
Brooklyn
they would be.
is struggling.
Yeah. I thought the Lakers would be not hovering around 500, but in that, what's their record? 7 and what?
They 8-1, 9-1,
8-1, 9-1. I expected them to be in that 7-1.
7-1. You're right.
7-1. I expected them to be like 5-3 or 4-3. And whatever the math equals out to how many games they played. A couple of games over 500. But the way they're balling, and once Kuzma acclimates, oh, man.
Yeah, he got to find out what his – I'm not going to say his role is going to change. He can still do what he did last year and still be effective. He just needs to pick his spots. And the way that they will maneuver different, you do have to change your game a bit. The person who's obviously suffering the most right now is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yeah.
He is looking like a fish out of water. He does not know how to play around LeBron right now. He cannot find what his niche is going to be or how he's going to be able to help the team on offense or defense.
Tommy was back with the Wolves.
Is he? I don't know. But then on the flip side of that, Dwight Howard.
Oh my God, he look like young man Dwight.
He is killing. Dwight Howard is he's not out there doing too much. He knows his role. He knows what he has to do. He's out there to protect the paint. Yep, he is. Tommy Edwards is back. He's out there to protect the paint, clean up shots, change shots at the rim, and do what he needs to do.
He's retiring.
Oh, he's retiring today.
Yeah.
Oh, so they letting him do the last game. Okay.
Yeah. No, they say he's been back since 06 and 019. I didn't know that. At 19, this last year. For you all that don't know, Tommy Atwood is the legendary announcer for the
PA announcer.
Yeah, PA announcer for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And they was doing the tribute. So, of course, we watching the Bulls at the same time and trying to talk about NBA.
We multitask over here. It wouldn't have been the same if we was remote.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh man, but yeah, man, I'm definitely excited about the way things is gonna shake out with the NBA, because it's some teams that's out there that can definitely surprise you, and say, man, I didn't see this coming, and they snatch up a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So, man, I think that's all we got. I'm feeling like it's a wrap on this one.
I've been meaning to ask you this, too, but I forgot. Ain't nothing serious. You seen Dolomite?
I have not.
Oh, come on.
I have not seen it. My brother told me it was dope.
Eddie back, man.
Eddie is back.
Eddie back.
I heard it was fresh. I got to check it out. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Eddie back, man.
I definitely got to check it out.
Eddie is back. I'm going to just keep saying it. Because I only got 2 left, him and Bill, since Pop's gone. So, Eddie back.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. I've only heard good things. So, that's definitely one I'm going to dig into. All right, man. So, that's a wrap on episode 34. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We back live. I can't believe it. It felt good to get one out the way. Hopefully we can do the same thing again next week. If not, we'll still make sure we remote. We gonna get the people what they want. But I want to be live again, man. It's always more organic this way.
Did we ever say about Dave East if we gonna unwrap it, or we just knew we was gonna leave that wrap?
We knew we leaving that wrapped. Unfortunately, Dave, I'm not giving up on you, dog. I've liked everything up until this point. This was trash though. But I take that back. It wasn't good. It's not trash. It's not trash, but I was disappointed.
What have you listened to recently? I know we're closing up here. That's been dope, but we haven't went over.
What's been dope that we haven't gone over? I know we touched it a little today, but the Smoke DZA and Benny LP was fresh. We didn't talk about Conway. Look What I Became.
Yeah.
That was dope. What else? Did we talk about Glory? I mean, it's kind of old now. Well, not old, but it's a few months ago. It came out like right around the same time as Rhapsody.
What's Glory?
Ab Liva and Spado.
Nah, we ain't talking about them. I didn't know that was out.
Them, those was Pusha's guys.
Yeah, I know that. I just didn't know that was.
Yeah, that's the only other thing that I could think of.
Yeah, the only thing I had that we didn't talk about that was dope to me was
Conway joint.
Conway was dope. Oh my goodness, Akon album is like surprisingly dope to me.
I didn't listen to Akon yet. You sent me the link. I got to jump down on that too.
I got 2 more I haven't listened to yet, and that was the Gangstar Project and Stylies Project. I haven't listened to.
You sent
me
yet. Both of those, and
cool. Was there something else that I listened to? Black Moon, I got through half of it. It was decent, but they on some old school heads that's got like 40 songs on there. I couldn't get through all that.
40?
It ain't 40, but it's about 22. It's too many for me.
Right.
So I can. It's only 8 hours in a work day, so
my commute ain't this long.
For real, man. I got through as many as I could, man. But I like what they were doing on the project. He's going to be an all-star if he keep playing this way. Yeah, reserve at least. Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter Jr. has definitely been hooping right now. If he keep this up, I'm with you. He got to start getting some all-star nods.
For real. Well, that's it, bro, man. That's all I got, man. I ain't got nothing else to give nobody.
That's it. We gave him all we can give. Until 35. We'll holla at y'all, man. You can catch us on all of the platforms. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud. Am I missing one?
Let me say
iTunes, Twitter. Everything is at the Wrap Up Pod. Y'all keep tuning in with us, man. We gonna keep on pushing out the good shit.
And for the YouTube viewers, if you watching and it goes dark and you see a cartoon pop up on your screen, it's just I couldn't find my other memory card. So I don't know what happened.
We couldn't get it all the way right this episode. We couldn't get it all the way right this episode, but we gonna be back. We gonna be back.
You see, that's what happens when you take breaks. Oh man,
these niggas ain't never prepared.
Man, you can't go and enjoy life, man. You know, we don't get paid to do this. You know, this is from our heart. We don't have a revolt backing us. You know
we do it because we love it.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that got monetary gains from their joints. You know,
we ain't there yet.
You know, this is just us. You know, we may come in one day and somebody may leave a headphone at home. You never know. You never know.
Work with us, people. Work with us. That's all I ask.
We gonna keep moving. You know what I'm saying? But we do got good audio because we side by side once again.
Straight up, man. We gonna check y'all out for 35 next week, man. Peace.
That's all I got. It's a wrap.